be transparent, be honest. This is SJW section where you can talk about touchy subjects, mainly related to mental health problems. Today we are talking about body image issues. And today I have guests, Nancy and Elaine.
Hi.
Hi. Would you like to talk about something, what you have experienced with body image issues?
Well, I'm Elaine, and I'm the CEO and founder of Everything's Education. But apart from that, I have another platform that allows women called Real Talk, which allows women to talk about things that they wouldn't normally be able to talk about. And body image is one of them, and dealing with anxiety, which is also thought of as a label for women. So that's basically what I do. What do you do, Nancy?
Hi guys, my name is Nancy and I'm currently a master's student studying psychodynamic counselling with children and adolescents. Sorry, it's a bit of a mouthful. But that's linked in with the ministry that I co-found called Come Out of Hiding, which is a platform all about, being free to be who you are without wearing a mask or pretending that you have to be someone else, but finding a space where you have a voice. You can share the deep, dark things that you've been through and find encouragement in other people's stories and finding hope for a better future, not allowing your past to define who you are.
You have no idea how happy I am to hear this. I'm always happy hearing powerful women doing something big for other people. Mm-hmm. So everyone deserves a chance to become something better, or just grow in general. Just a little bit to talk about myself, like how I relate to body image issues, which are plenty, because I was constantly body shamed by my grandmother, fat shamed. Even when I was my smaller size, like 12, I was always fat shamed by my grandmother. And I'm scared to go to Lithuania because I know she would make comments, and it's just another issue. I had my hair. I was shamed for my hair, for having curly, fluffy hair back home, because it wasn't really natural. But what helped me to cope was doing some plus size modeling and engaging body positivity movement. Like I've been doing modeling last year, but I've faced a challenge as well. It was better at first, like, I'm loving myself for who I am, no matter if I'm overweight right now. But I faced another issue with social media, because I felt like I was dependent. I needed likes, I needed acknowledgement.
But Instagram is dealing with that at the moment. They are trialing, they're beta testing it to take off likes, because people feel like in order for them to be accepted, they need to have a certain number of likes. What I always say to people is that life is a journey, and that very often we are looking for likes and validation for people who were never qualified to validate us in the first place. And so if you feel like you need validation from a particular kind of person, like, for example, the people that body shame and all of those kind of things, you ask yourself, are you a model? Are you perfect? Maybe there's something in your life that you're dealing with. So you have no right to judge me. I might be big at right now, or I might not be your ideal. However, I am comfortable in who I am unapologetically me. I am authentically me. And I'm going from one stage to another. When you get to that place, then nobody can make you feel inferior, because that's what it is. It's about people making you feel inferior. And that's where you get into the place of having to be something that you're not. People pretending. And you said you work in a ministry. You started a ministry. And what I find in church is there's a lot of judgmental people there. And they're supposed to be the people that embrace everybody with the issues that we might have. So we find ourselves, like with your grandmother, you find yourself being something that you shouldn't, when actually who you are meant to be and be embraced by. If that person is not embracing you, that person is not meant to be in your life. I don't know what either of you think about that.
Right. I think people who are bullying others, body shaming others, they normally have issues with themselves, and I do know that my grandmother too as well.
There you go.
So, there are other things that I would like to speak about, and I would like Nancy to express her experience. So I would like to speak about eating disorders. My mom used to be bulimic, and I am a binge eater as well. So it's related to my mental health, and I'm fighting right now. I'm trying to improve myself just for my own health overall. But I would like you to share your experience. I've heard it before, but it's a story worth sharing.
I think for me, I didn't really classify it as an eating disorder, only because, I don't know, I saw it only after, only after you've come through something, you realise what you actually came through. And for me, I used to not be able to eat in public. Sometimes I still can't eat in public because I just feel like everyone's watching me. And like some people call me like butterfingers and all this stuff. And every time I see food, it's like I feel like that food's gonna, I don't know, spill on my dress, or like I'll be embarrassed for eating in public. And so every time I even pick up food, I just look around to see who's watching me. And at one point I actually stopped eating in public because I just felt like this is too much. But when I used to get home, and like the emotions will just get really overwhelming, and then I just eat and eat. But when you eat and you're full, but you're still eating, and then I start feeling sick with myself. Like I'll be like, how am I eating? Yet I know that I'm full. And it's just like Elaine said before we actually started recording, is that it's actually a battle of the mind. And until you overcome that, you will still continue to go through the motions. Like even in addition to what you were saying about Instagram taking off the likes, yes, they can take off the likes, but if you're not okay with who you are, that doesn't add anything. You'll still be looking for validation from your family. They're not on Instagram, but you're still seeking validation in them. And something that's helped me on my journey is finding who I am first in God. In Him, I found love and no judgment. In Him, I found a reason to want to eat in front of people. And for eating, it's a social thing. Like you go out for people's birthdays, everyone's eating. And how can you just be sitting there? And for me, that was a bondage and a prison that I was in. But until I was okay with who I was, like my flaws, yes, my food might spill on my dress and everyone would just laugh about it. But in my mind, it was such a big shame and a big embarrassment. But until I was able to overcome that, I would just starve myself, really and truly.
It's very important. This story is very important because it is actually recognized eating disorder. It's called avoidant or restrictive food intake disorder, which normally develops in childhood, and normally children would have that. As you probably know, some children who would not eat in public, or they don't like certain smells or textures or temperatures, they could be picky, but it's actually a sign of that disorder. And sometimes it remains in adulthood, and it can happen to men and women. So it's really good that you share this story because people need to know. We need awareness because people battle with their problems by themselves, and what are you doing is just amazing. Thank you very much. So Elaine, did you experience body image issues yourself?
I have actually. I found that when I was younger and I was, in the netball team, I was running, I was very athletic. And then when I went to university, and at university, you have your own choices, and I wasn't doing as much sport as before, I found myself putting on weight. But then I was also diagnosed with a condition called polycystic ovary syndrome, which allows you to put on weight. Your body tricks itself into thinking that you're expecting. And so your hormones are all over the place. And I started to put on weight. But, I used to laugh like, I'm okay, I'm a really happy person, I'm big, but inside I wasn't. Sometimes you just use that on the outside, but when you go home, when I'm not feeling that great, so I know that I've got my Haagen-Dazs by my side, I'm sitting there watching a chick flick. But then I went through a process. I went to a friend's bridal shower. No, it was a baby shower. And I remember I was 8 months pregnant for her wedding. So I didn't mind, I could eat into the pregnancy. So nobody would really see it because I was pregnant. And it was myself and another bridesmaid. I hate those pictures. We were both like the big bridesmaids. And I went to the baby shower and I said, oh, where's the other lady? So we're the big girls together. She was like a size 10. And I said, oh my God, what did you do? And she said she went on a journey of self-discovery and understanding who she really was. So she showed me the program that she went on, and I went on that program, and I understood at that, but that program uses a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy. So I began to understand my relationship with food, and a lot of the eating disorders that we have is to do with our relationship with foods. And I went on that journey and I lost 4 stone. And I remember going back on holiday where we're originally from, and people had said to me, oh my God, are you still fat? That was the time before. And I thought, I'm never coming back here looking like this. I went back and I was a size 10. People were walking past me at the airport and saying to my mum, did you not come with Elaine? She said, that's Elaine standing over there. And it was a really good feeling for people to just see you and go, oh my gosh, you look amazing. So I went on that journey, but that was about 10 years ago. And then I went through a really bad divorce. And obviously it took me back that I had certain things that I hadn't overcome. And I went back to the whole relationship with food because I found comfort in food. But what I found now is that I know that I have certain health issues, that there's a certain look that I'm going for, but it's not going to happen overnight, because like we rightly said about the mind, I have to be ready in my mind to look a certain way and to have a certain journey that I'm prepared to go. Trust the process. That's what I always say to myself. And that it's a process to get that. I will get there. Today, if I wasn't able to have my 8 glasses of water, but I was able to have 4, celebrate the fact that I'm able to have 4, not the fact that I wasn't able to have 8. Do you see what I mean? So we've got to make it all relative. When you begin to speak to yourself in that kind of language, you know that they're wins. They might be small wins, but they're wins, because otherwise you're always on a losing battle. And so that's how I've managed to deal with I wouldn't call it a struggle, I'd call it a challenge that I'm overcoming, because I don't look the way I want to, but I am better than I was yesterday. I think that's where I am right now.
Thank you, Elaine, for sharing your experience. And actually, it's a very good coping technique, which I also use. Celebrating, not punishing yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where self-love starts. When I had a rough breakup, I went to shower and I congratulate myself because I knew that I could, stay in my bed dirty with food all over me.
Yeah, because sometimes eating disorders lead to depression. And we don't see that not showering is a symptom of depression, because you don't care about how you look, you don't care about how you smell, all of these kind of things. So you're absolutely right. It's a celebration. The fact that you could get up, get out of the bed, get into the shower, you're clean. That in itself, you've got to give yourself a big tick for that, But so well done. I have to celebrate you on that.
You too. And Nancy, do you have any tips to share? How did you overcome your challenges? Would you like to share with our audience?
How I wouldn't say I've completely overcome. Like Elaine said, it is a process. Some days you still get knocked down, and some days I look in the mirror and I do not like what I see. And so it's that battle of the mind, isn't it? And as a believer, I really believe in renewing my mind. So I speak what I believe God thinks about me. And there's this passage in Psalm 139 that I really love today, and it says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. So if God says I'm beautiful, the one who created me, why should I care about someone calling me ugly, or even me myself thinking that I'm not worth it? But the creator of the universe has found me beautiful. And so it's just about reminding myself about that. And that's how CBT actually works. It's about those positive thoughts conquering the negative thoughts. And the more you think and ponder on these thoughts, you overcome the negative ones, but it takes one step.
It's amazing.
That is amazing. So we recognize one amazing coping technique. Celebrate, do not punish yourself. Celebrate for small steps you do every day. Even eating a healthy meal, instead of chicken and chips. It's just, you have to do that. And I think that's a very good way to wrap it up today. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.